Welcome back to Studio Biku, and today we're going to be doing episode 4 of 30 Days, 30 Dyes. Today I'm going to be putting the Mordanted Sashiko threads and the silk samples into each of the 30 jars. If you missed episodes 1, 2 and 3 of this project and would like to head back, then the links are in the description. I've got my Sashiko thread, but I'm going to pre-wash this in a moment. First of all, I'm going to make the pomegranate mordant. Now, I am expecting a little bit of colour transfer from the mordant, but as long as it's weak enough, I'm hoping that it will not affect the colour too much. So what you need are some pomegranate skins. I've got just dried ones from last year's harvest. There is a man down the road who has a huge pomegranate tree right in the middle of Tokyo, and he lets me forage those. You'll need some water, a pot and something to heat your mordant. That's it. It's been on for about 20 minutes. It's getting hot now and the colour's changing a little bit. It's a very, very weak dye at this point. I don't want it to make a dye. I'm using this as a mordant, a tannin mordant, so if it gets too yellow, I'll probably add some more water. So I'm going to leave that to go cool, and then I will strain it. I've just given the threads a good wash. I didn't have time to scour them. I was also worried about maybe some shrinkage happening. I wasn't sure, so I just washed them. They've been soaking for about 30 or 40 minutes, and I'm going to leave them in here until I'm ready to mordant. Granite mordant is now cool, and I've been soaking the Sashiko threads after they have been washed really thoroughly. I didn't have time to scour them this time, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the bits of pomegranate. It's cool now, so it's not going to burn me. I'm just going to use my hands because, you know, it's just vegetation. And there we go, it's all out. So I'm going to warm this mordant through. I'm going to pop the Sashiko threads in for around an hour, and then they'll be ready for the dye pots. Yes, finally. So this is the colour that we get with one large jar like this of water and this much pomegranate. So I could actually dye with this, but it wouldn't be a very strong colour, so I'm just going to use it as a mordant. It will change the colour of the thread considerably, but I'm not too worried about that. So it's warmed through, it's not boiling. I'm not going to boil it, it's just warmed through, and I'm going to leave it in here. You can see how quickly it takes on the colour, but a lot of this will wash out because it's cotton anyway, so I'm not too worried. I don't mind a yellowy tinge anyway to my threads. Okay, I'm going to leave it in there for an hour and I'll be back soon. The Sashiko thread's been on for about an hour. As you can see, I've got a little bit of colour, but I'm about to rinse this and I think a lot of this will come off, as always happens with cotton, so I'll be right back. I've just put this in some water and already you can see some of the dyes coming off, so I don't think it's going to be as dark as you might think. So that's Quite a lot of dye came off with it, so you can already see it's going much paler than before. And even more is coming off, so you can see. I'm going to keep rinsing until it runs clear, and then I'm going to hang it up ready for putting in the dye pots tomorrow. This is the exciting bit coming up. I've just rinsed the threads, and this is the colour that I now have. It's like a very pale cream. It's definitely taken on some of the pomegranate, but it's definitely not taken on a lot. So I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then I'm going to separate the threads and add them to the jars tomorrow. The jars are all ready, and they've been sitting in the sun right here since the end of June when the project finished. It is now the beginning of September. Things happened over the summer holidays, which I'll tell you about in the next video. We had a little bit of a family emergency over the summer holidays, so I had to put the project on hold. Everything's okay now, so I'm right back into the project. Can't wait to show you the final results. I've bundled up the Sashiko thread that I mordanted with the pomegranate into these little tiny bundles, and each one has 3 threads in it, so I'm going to soak those, try not let them get tangled, and I'm going to give them about 30 minutes in the water. So I'm going to do the first 10 so that I don't get them tangled, and then I'm going to put some little tiny swatches of kimono silk also in there so that I can have some little records from my dye diary as well. So the threads are still soaking, so I thought I'd prepare these different dye jars now. I'll show you some colours. This is the marigold, and this is from the beginning of June, so it's been in here for 2.5 months now. It's made a kind of yellow, so it's quite nice. And then the dandelion, also a yellow. A lot of the pigment is at the bottom, so I have to give them a bit of a shake. This is azalea. And then this is grass from my local park. Lovely green. That was the 4th of June. 5th of June is marigold, orange. This is a little bit of a disappointing colour. I don't know. 6th of June was the red onion. I might have to, I've got this pot here just in case I've got excess materials and I can't fit the stuff in. And then the 7th is avocado. It's a lovely pinky brown. And then I've got red marigold, which is like an orangey colour, I guess. That's the 8th. The 9th was a red geranium, which looks like it's pink, but it might come out yellow, who knows. 10th is yellow onions. So that's actually really full, so it might not fit anything in. I might have to remove some stuff and put it in here. Let's go ahead and wring these out. We don't want excess water in there. I'm going to make 10 of these first so we don't get them all mixed up. I've also prepared tiny swatches of silk, but I really don't want these tangling. So I've got 10 soaked Sashiko threads. Now I'm going to get all the silk out, and then I'm going to add 3 swatches per dye. So here we go with day 1. I'm expecting this to really smell. No, it doesn't. So I'm going to put 1 of these in, and I'm going to put 3 tiny, tiny pieces of silk. And that's it. I've just dyed my tea towel. Okay, day 2 is dandelion. One of those. And 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Dandelion's gone everywhere. And then 3rd is azalea. This was pink. Some of this is kind of like created a vacuum seal because it's been in here for 2 months. Pink azalea. Sorry if you can hear my stomach rumbling, it's lunchtime. I don't want to get this project done. I'm going to give these a very, very, very slight swish around. Next one is grass. Look at that colour. You can already see the colour could take on straight away. And then 1, 2, these are dry, so 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And the 5th is marigold. It's the orange one that I grew. Oh my goodness, my stomach is really rumbling. 1, 2, 3. And then we have red onion. Oh my goodness, this is tight. And then 1. Oh, immediately changed. And then 2 swatches. I'm going to bury that one. 3. Okay. That one's sitting right on the top. I think I'll poke them down with a chopstick in a minute. And we have avocado pits. This one is really tight. 1, 2, 3. And I sort of think I should have put these in at the same time that it was fermenting, but oops, I forgot to put the thread in. But you know, I didn't. And then we've got the 8th, which is red marigold. Put it in. So I've got 1, 2, 3. And then I've got, on the 9th, I've got red geranium. 1, 2, 3. I hope I've counted correctly for my swatches. And then the 10th is, oh, very tight, red onion, yellow onion, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, and the thread. So that's the first 10 days done. I'm going to go and sit these in the sun first of all. Okay, the next 10 days we have pomegranate, really rich colour with some mould on the top. Ooh, be careful there. Lemon leaf. 13th is viola. Then we got the 14th is acorn, which is an interesting colour. The There's a delivery happening next door. And that is hydrangea from the studio garden. And then rosemary from the dye garden. Olive leaves, that's a very rich brown. Tea on the 18th. The 19th is hollyhock. That was actually a pink hollyhock, but it's a very different colour now. And then eucalyptus. I really apologise about the noise of the truck. So this I'm going to get off and be very careful that I'm not going to have the spores go everywhere. I'm trying not to disturb the mould on this. Apparently this is a well-known thing that happens with the foodstuffs, so I'll put that straight in the bin. That is disgusting. But I'm going to give it a mix while I'm here. Luscious colour. Amazing colour. So one of those and 3 swatches, and then poke it in and hope that this will soak. Okay, then we've got the 12th is lemon leaves. This one might be a bit too full of leaves, I don't know, we'll see. There we go. 1, 2, 3 swatches, there we go. Then this viola, one of those. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 of those. Sink into the bottom. And then this is acorn. Oh, tight. Something weird on the top. Oof. 1, 2, 3. One of those. Hydrangea. Oh, that one's very tight. This I think I'm going to have to lose some of the flowers because true to its name, hydrangea loves water, so it's soaked up loads of water. So 1, 2, 3. 3 swatches. Jar. I'm just going to shake these every couple of days. This is rosemary on the 16th. It was a pop. 1, 2, 3. There we go. One of those. Okay. 17th is olive leaf from my dye garden. Little bit of mould on top there. That's okay. And then 3 of these swatches. 1, 2, 3. And then we have tea. Ooh. Surprisingly not mouldy. I honestly thought that would be very mouldy, but it's not. Sinking to the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. 1, 2, 3 in there. Goodbye. I'll see you in a month or 2. Hollyhock. Very tight, that one. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's got quite a bit of water on it. Okay, looks lovely. This is a eucalyptus, which I thought would be a darker colour than this, but it's very tight. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, my goodness. Just about got that off. And then one of those. 1, 2, 3 swatches. 1, 2, 3 swatches. And there we go. This smells really nice. Eucalyptus-y smell. And there we go. It's the next 10. All right, it's the last 10. So we have coffee. This is, wow. Coffee. And then 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to put them in as flat as possible. So it's coffee. Next one, 22nd was winter jasmine, which was yellow to start with, but it's not now. Maybe the dye will be yellow though. Okay, make sure the lids are on properly because I don't want the mould to start. 23rd was bark and lichen. So that is an interesting colour already. You can see 3. It was a bit soily, that one as well. So 24 was camellia. That one exploded everywhere with the heat. Doesn't matter. So the thread, 1, 2, 3. 3 swatches. Okay. It's camellia. I found that one dried on the ground. And then 25 is pine cone. I didn't think I'd get any colour off this, but it's actually quite a pretty orangey brown. So I'm quite happy with that one. 1, 2, 3. Pine cone. This is tokusa, which is a kind of grass that looks like bamboo. And something really interesting happened to this. It started to, I don't know whether you can see that, it started to shoot inside the water even though there was no air in there. It started to germinate, so I might have another plant. I didn't realise that you could germinate toxa like that, but now I do. This is salvia, which was from a neighbour's garden. I happened to be passing when she was trimming it one day. And that was purple when I found it. Really interesting how it changes over time. Pine needle. Some gardeners gave me this. A big branch of pine. It's got some mould on top. But that's nature. Just trying not to breathe anything in. 1, 2, 3. Bury it in the pine needles. And then a paper plant, which was a crispy leaf that I found, made a pretty colour. It was a dead one, so it was already almost black. So let's see what colour we get from that. Okay, and then we have the final one, which I didn't label, but I know is momiji. It's maple leaves. This has got a surprisingly dark colour. I really like it though. I'm just wondering what colour it's going to make, the silks and the cotton. I don't know. It's a bit too small, that piece. Okay. And that is 30 days, 30 dyes. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm going to let the dyes stew in the sunshine for around a month, and then I'll be doing episode 5. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. If you hit the notification bell, then you'll get an alert when the next video goes live. YouTube thinks that you'll like this video next, so have fun. See you next time.